So is my share slide showing?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay.
Says it's being shared. Are you doing it from the data from Meet Echo, or are you?
I'm doing from the Meet Echo. Yes. Maybe.
And try it again. Did you do that? Switch it to moderated mode?
Have anything changed? The not really?
You changed it to moderated mode. I don't know why. I'm switching it back. So now try doing it again.
What problem are we tackling with? Is it the slides don't show?
The deck says it's not. It says it's being shared, but it doesn't come up.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Do you think I should
Not-
try it? I can try it because I'm listed as a delegate for, I think I must have
Okay.
sat in
Yes.
once.
Yeah, could you try the showing the slide, and then I'll close this, trying to show the slide.
Well, I actually don't remember how to do this because it's been a minute.
Mhm.
Upload and manage slides, like that slide deck is there.
Yes.
I see it. We don't want to remove it. Oh, import all decks. Let's try that.
All of them.
Right.
The entire
Wow.
universe of them. Even the ones that are not yet written.
Presumably it's just the ones that are sitting there waiting to be uploaded. Seems weird, right?
Bring you next year's
Maybe.
arguments today.
Maybe that's what happened, Michael. It's got all previous slides and all future slides, and between them all, that was just too much.
I only see 2 decks actually, so I mean, you know. I don't know why this isn't working.
I only selecting the chair slide, and it doesn't seems to be change the user interface to show on the.
So odd.
It has a switch room mode to free, switch mode room mode to moderated.
Yeah, don't do that.
it-
You switched it to moderated
Do I
already,
have
and
to check anything? I mean, switch anything here?
no, don't switch it to moderated. That means that people have to have permission to talk, or it's not what you want.
Yeah, 14 people joining. So thank you for everybody joining. The soup. Oh, it's showing.
We have that
Is it
moderated
you,
button.
Deb?
Yeah, it works.
I did that because I have control. So I'm going to give you control, but I'm presenting. I mean, I've loaded the slides. Now you have control, correct?
Oh, I thank you. I have the slide control. So yes, it's about 8 minutes past from the
Takes a village.
interim meeting. We're going to start. The session is recorded. And so this is the Notewell. Yes, IETF is collaborative work. So if you have, we value the contributors' effort. And if you see, and next page is note really well. So if you have any situation you should report or have experience, please let us know. And this is the Meet Echo link. The person who is joining 15 people today already knows the Meet Echo link, and there's the link to the note. So please, I really appreciate the note taker, volunteer. Anybody note taker, please?
I can take some notes. Okay.
Oops. And the next page is, and today's agenda. So it's basically it's before IETF 123 at the Madrid. I think yes. So going through all the draft, which is not as RFC, and then bring up the list up the any action item before the IETF 123. Yeah, Hannes, thank you for the note taker. I clicking the next suit MTI slide and it doesn't show. Does it show up?
It's being loaded.
It's being loaded. Oh, I see.
I guess that you have to run. It's better if you run the slides without delegating or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I can, but I think you need to take it down, yours down first, because it
Okay.
told me there's too many media, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just gonna pass it to you, so you can run it.
Thank you.
Bam. Okay. Good. But this is MTI, right?
Yes, this is so starting from suit MTI. Yes, the difference from the after IETF 122 in Thai. There was a thank you for the many review from Deb and Hannes honestly changing the changes to the draft, and Amanda and all other reviewers. And the first one was applying the changes from the IANA early review in March 12, and then it was applied to draft IETF suit MTI 10, 12, 11, 12, 13. These are from the applying the comment from the DEP. So the word was changing from streaming to the on the fly and etc. And um, more clarification of why using AES CTR, which is considered as deprecated, and why it has a mentioning of the payload encryption and the adding objective. And also, this was the first time I started to heavily started to fixing the line too long warnings on the NITS check tools. And next major update was on April 30. I think I wrote which was from the. I forgot who was the reviewer at this time. So this was more. I think this was from that too. So clarify why AES CTR. And it will be written in the courses specification, and when using the AES CTR, combining with the digest algorithm to be more to be more secure, and also the reason of the payload encryption. It's and then we started at against intellectual property and personal identification information hiding during the transit, and these listed crypto algorithm is in the is as a profile. It may need to be changed in the future if the any of the crypto algorithm becomes deprecated. So it had a additional mentioning there. And then next major update was this month. And Deb and Michael we had a comment, and yes, and also security director Magnus review. So we started to have not start, but we clarified the HSS LMS post quantum algorithm about impact on implementation. And more clarification why we're dividing to 5 or 6 profiles. And it was initially in the draft, another clarification was FIPS qualified word, and we changed it to FIPS validated. So one of the each profile will require request for having a FIPS validated. And also the value of the firmware being encrypted will be benefit against the security defense. And also small wording replacing on the fly, preferred, deep, recognize, and etc. And yes, so this is the status of the suit MTI.
If I may add, I yet
Yes.
have to respond to Magnus because he did provide a couple of interesting comments because like he was challenging so many of the points, and I made a lot of changes. So the document, I think, in the end has improved, but I still want to reply to him to make sure that he's actually fine with all the changes. I think that's still to be done. I will do that tomorrow. I hope he's fine with it. So it's like he had no objections on anything, but he just raised questions about the use of some of the terms and why does the document say MTI when it also recommends optional algorithm and so on and so on. So many things. But it was definitely good. I think the document is good now, but we'll see. I want to get his sort of feedback on that too.
So definitely go back and reply to Magnus. You don't have to make Magnus happy. You do have to reply to him and justify your positions, but you don't have to. He does not have to be a happy camper before we move the draft on, because he's a sector reviewer, not an AD. So, where his change, I think he'll do that.
Yeah, I definitely want to do it because he obviously spent a lot of time on doing the reviews. So, and I appreciate his reviews. So, good comments. So, definitely we'll do that. We'll do that tomorrow. It's already late.
Right, but his comment about why are you using counter mode, right? There's good reasons for that, and you should basically go back and justify those reasons again. We're going to get that comment again when it hits the AD review. We'll probably get it from Paul, but there's good reasons for counter mode, and so you just got to explain it to them. It'll be fine, but it just has to be explained.
Definitely.
And Brendan? Yes.
Yeah, so on the value of firmware encryption as a security defense, I thought we covered that pretty solidly already. And I've read his comments, and frankly, they don't make a lot of sense to me, because it does very clearly state in the draft already that the risk here is that commodity devices are incredibly easy to extract unencrypted firmware from, right? That's spelt out in the draft already. So where we say that it's not a defense for commodity devices and explain why it's not a defense for commodity devices, I don't understand why that's a contradiction. It explains quite clearly what that is. So there's that, and I will have to go back to him with a comment on that. But it's just, we've been around this loop a couple of times already, right? It's clearly explained in the draft. I don't know how many more times I'm going to have to explain it.
Many, many more, Brendan, but it's okay. So the trick is to make it clear enough in the draft that they don't have comments on it anymore. So it's possible that it just a little bit of tweaks, like it doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe there's just a little tweak that can be made to make it more clear. The same is going to be true with counter mode, right? So it says it clearly in a number of places, but you're going to have to say it over and over again. And that's just the way that it's going to be.
Or it could be Magnus was just mentioning that he wants this security defense word in that particular section. And yes, it's in there now. So I think.
So if it's somewhere, if he makes the comment in one location, but it's actually clarified in another location, you can point him to that. Like that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do and say, here's where we discuss that, and that's where it's already listed. So
Yeah, and maybe in the case of the security defense side of things, it's just a question of there needs to be a clarification that, high value targets don't get their firmware extracted directly because it's just too expensive to go and do that for the average hacker. Although, notwithstanding that, that still leaves nation state adversaries on the table. And I do wonder whether we need to be clear about that.
I don't think we need to be more clear in this draft based on the Magnus review. So yes, I think it's just Hannes replying to Magnus and just wait. And I think that will be enough.
Yeah, I think we're good. Like the
Yes.
text is good. I massaged the text a little bit, but I think we are fine there. There is a reference there to the firmware encryption draft where we explain all this in great detail. Yeah, I think it's there.
And Brendan?
Sorry, just one more comment. I know I've said this before, but I feel absolutely compelled to say it again. We need to strongly consider the possibility that this draft is going to be dead before it ever publishes, because HSS LMS is incredibly difficult to deploy, arguably nearly undeployable. And the concern that I have is that if this is the only thing that's PQC in our suite and the migration deadline is 2030, then there is almost no point in publishing anything that isn't PQC, right? Why are we even publishing non-post quantum algorithms? It doesn't make any sense. They're dead. So we should probably be considering, given that an implementer starting today needs to have a device in the field in 2030 already migrated to post quantum. I mean, we're not even there yet. So I really don't understand why we're still doing this, and I really think we should be considering MLDSA and MLChem.
I think that is something, as Russ explained, that we should do in a separate document. I think we need to get this out of the door as soon as possible, because otherwise it blocks all the other things. If we start now the debate about PQC and what do we do and how well does it work on constrained devices and all of that, then we add another half year, if at minimum, if not more. That will be a challenge.
I fully appreciate that. And that I heard that reasoning. I heard it before. That's why I'm not here saying, let's stop what we're doing. I'm just saying we need to be prepared for the fact that the moment this drops, we have to start drafting its replacement.
So it's worse than that, right? Because this gets held up in MISREF along with everything else, right? So not only do you have to publish this, but you've got to finish the rest of it, right? So we've got comments on the manifest draft from IANA. You've got comments on all of the drafts. You're sitting on comments from me on whatever draft, the update draft, maybe? I've got something sitting in
I think
PubRec.
it's report. It's report, and there's a good number of those addressed now.
Oh, yeah?
Well, that's my understanding as well. My understanding is that the manifest document is done, but it's still I still think that we need to get this out of the door. We can start at the a document on the PQC story, but it's a complicated story. Unfortunately, it's not just the algorithms. You need to get this on, like, after all, on the constrained devices where it's complicated. That's why there are loose ends in the story.
Ironically, it turns out I've actually been doing a ton of work in that space over the last few months. So I mean, I completely appreciate the situation we're in. I know
Hank, are you able
exactly
to,
what the penalties are.
do I need to do something?
Who is this? Hank?
Hank?
Did you just boot me out of the queue? Oh my goodness.
Hello? Yeah, you're in the queue.
Hank, if you're talking, talk.
Hank, are your mic
Oh,
on?
too many mute buttons. I muted myself on hardware. That is a mistake. So you didn't hear all the jabs I made, so that's great. I have to agree with Hannes and Brent at the same time wholeheartedly.
Does
It makes no
everybody
sense.
hearing Hank talking? I'm not
No,
hearing this, but could be only my place.
I
I
can
hear
hear.
Hank fine.
Oh, so it
okay.
seems to be mine.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was shocked that I still failed at this. Okay, thank you for the encouragement. So again, yes, releasing anything not PQC is nonsense today. Stopping this document from progress is also nonsense. So we have to do both. So my questions to the chairs and attending AD is basically, is it okay to biz or update this MTI document as soon as it's published? And I hope the relevant people heard me. Literally, I don't know.
Yeah, Hank, I completely agree. And that's essentially what I was asking, right? I was trying to say, yeah, let's push it out the door. But I mean, frankly, we have to start drafting the replacement literally right now.
Yes. Okay. Any chair or AD able to respond? I don't know if they can hear us now.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah, you are the AD. Yes. Deb, sorry.
I am
Deb here.
I am the AD for suit. I'm the only AD here.
Both. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah. So would you
Roman is
agree
on a
with?
call.
So my
Oh,
issue is you've got literally 5 drafts sitting in various states of disrepair, and now you want to start on something new.
yes, and that is okay to say, but we have been very busy bees and want to say just in time. And I think report and manifest are in a good shape, and we just discussed MTI.
So what about trust
we,
domain?
yeah, that I can't tell about because I'm not involved in that. Sorry.
Okay, so trust domain's sitting with discusses on it. It's been sitting that way since April. Let's get these things finished, right? Who's on trust domains? Brendan.
Oh, I mean, I'm on literally everything, and that's half the problem.
So Brendan and Ken, right? So nothing's been done on trust domain since it went through the telechat. It's sitting with 2 discusses on it. It needs to be finished. My suggestion to you would be, let's finish these drafts before you start working on something else. If there's limited time, finish the stuff you've already started.
I completely appreciate the stance, Deb. I fully agree with you. I understand where you're coming from, and I understand what you're saying, and I'm pretty sure that I agree with you. But I will add the slight additional flavor to that. I find it a bit bizarre to be publishing something that will be completely useless just for the sake of publishing.
Right, but it's only because this has been just atrociously slow. And it's not atrociously slow because of the standards process. It's atrociously slow because the authors aren't updating the drafts.
Yeah, it should have been finished a while ago already.
Right, exactly. So I'll apologize for being sort of a little bit brutal here, but that's the fact.
should we switch to the next document, the report, suit report? I think we are pretty much done on the MPI document, aren't we?
Yeah. Let's go to the suit. My mic and speaker seems to be recovered. So suit report. Brendan, you've been updating from about 2 hours ago, heavily.
Yeah, so it turns out that I actually had a set of updates that were sitting around for a while from one of the previous design team meetings that were caught in a commit that wasn't a PR. And that was pointed out to me, and then I realized that I'd missed a few of I'd missed handling the issues that that Michael had raised on the GitHub. So I sort of did a bit of a frenzy of trying to fix a lot of that stuff today. Let's see if we can keep that momentum up and get a bit more done. But as it stands, out of the comments, I think Michael, I can't remember how many he raised. There were a bunch. I think it was somewhere around 20 or 23 issues. And I've covered all now with pull requests except the last 4 of them. So yeah, we're nearly there.
So are you going to add more for the last 4 issues, making a pull request and submitting suit report 12 tomorrow, or?
Yeah, absolutely. That's the goal. Let's get this thing moving.
Yes.
So those answer my comments from March?
Yeah, that's the idea. Yes, Michael, I understand that those were not the issues from you. Those were the issues that you very kindly inputted into GitHub to track Deb's comments.
Oh, I see. Okay, then next one is the suit update management. Is that, yeah, Brendan, you again?
Yeah. So honestly, I haven't looked at that one in a few days. The last time I looked at it, there were some cleanups, but those are pretty old at this stage, I fear. So I'm gonna have to check its status.
Mhm.
MTI
So-
and suit report are where I've spent most of the time recently.
Yes,
So
yes.
from my point of view, the update is still in my pub rec queue. It will leave that pub rec queue in July before the Madrid meeting for various reasons. But I have not looked at it because it didn't look to me like any work was happening on I mean, I don't need more suit drafts in flight. Because there's already trust domains, MTI, and update. So suit report is still sitting in my pubrec queue.
Okay. I don't think anything depends directly on suit report. I'm not entirely certain on that. There might be a TEEP dependency I'm not aware of.
TIP is depending on suit report.
Oh, there you go. I don't think there's a dependency on suit update management. I don't think anyone's depending on that. So that if there, at least that one won't block something else.
I asked the chairs, the deep chairs, regarding a public not publication request, but pushing it to the ISG, the deep protocol document, and they just recently did, but they were holding off for quite a while because of the dependencies. I could check whether there's a dependency on the update document, and I'm almost certainly there is. Almost certain that there is.
Yes, I think there was too. Yes.
There is a normative dependency on trust domains. Suit report, MTI, manifest, yeah.
But not update management.
Not update management.
Okay.
But
good.
Suit report, trust domains.
So I'll continue to sit on this and you can work on the others. I will move it out of pubrec before the Madrid meeting. But I may not actually make comments on it before that. Depends on how much progress you make other places. Trust
Yeah,
domains, I'd like to get that. That's just like finish it off, right? You've got 2 discusses from Ori and Med, and all you need to do is finish it off, and it'll be in the misref queue with the rest of them.
Okay. Yes. Then let's move to suit trust domains. We already did. Brendan?
Sorry, got lost in the wrong window there. Okay, yeah. So suit trust domains. Sorry, I'm pulling it up. I haven't got it open in front of me at the moment. I have not prepared slides for this meeting. I'm sorry about that. Okay, where was I? It looks to me like I have not spent. Oh, here we go. Found it. Yeah. So again, no, I haven't spent much time on that one since the meeting. So I don't really have much to report on the suit trust domains. Deb, thank you again for the pointer that there are those discusses waiting. We will, of course, tackle those as quickly as we can here. Beyond that, I'm not sure what else there is to discuss on this, unless there's something new from someone else.
So just to be clear, both Med and Ori will require you to A, reply to them, B, publish a new update. They'll look at the new update and then clear their discuss if they're happy with it. In
Yep,
addition to
understood.
that, all of the comments have to be addressed, not just the discusses.
And so, Brendan, is it okay expecting the discusses before the next IETF 1, 2, 3?
Yeah,
Next
that'll be
week?
the goal. I'm gonna see how much I can get done in the more immediate future, but definitely by Madrid, yeah.
But Madrid is just around the corner because the submission deadline is not too far out there. Like we're talking about at probably 3 weeks, not more. Maybe you push some of the work to Ken for that one.
Okay. Brenda, is that okay?
Yeah, no, I understand.
Yes, okay. Then moving to suit manifest and next.
Yeah, so I saw the
And then just one more thing.
good, there
So
are other people to talk.
until the 7th, you have until the 7th of July. That's the cutoff for internet draft submissions, right? So whatever you do has to be done by the 7th of July.
Yeah,
And then
about 4 weeks, right? Ish.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
On the manifest, I don't think there
Yeah.
is anything that needs to be done at this point in time. It's in the RC editor queue.
Mm-hmm.
There was a new version submitted. We had conference call about this. A couple of us, Michael, Hank, Brandon, myself.
Yeah, the only thing that came up was that there were some questions from Ayana, which we were supposed to answer via another draft, which was a bit confusing to me. But never mind, I have done that, and I also answered the original Ayana request. And I did also go back and confirm that I'm happy with what they've put in the UUID namespace registry. I was a little bit uncertain as to what should actually be in the fields that they were filling in, but what they had proposed looked fine.
But you submitted the version that there were a couple of changes to the IANA registry, and that's why they wanted us to submit a new document, because they had a lot of questions. So I think that was fine. So I think this this version should be like, there's no open issues at that point in time, if I'm understanding correctly. Is that true?
I hope so.
Cool.
So the last message from Amanda says that they're good, which
Awesome.
tells me she's IANA, right? So
Yeah.
it looks like we're okay. She says we'll consider this closed. So whatever it was appears to be closed. I would leave it, just watch for them to come back, either Sabrina or Amanda to come back and ask more questions.
So for the manifest, its author is nothing pending anymore for the authors.
No, I think
editor
you're
come-
squared away from manifest, right? For the moment.
Okay, then next is a firmware encryption.
Wait, sorry. I'm
Oh.
in the queue
Oh,
and
sorry.
raising my hand and have a mic open, so I just
Sorry.
interject
Sorry.
now. Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry to barging in. So I also checked, of course, in the process of this, the current suit IANA registry page, and it looks good. I think that's important feedback, because then we can now align all other decisions as how it looks today. And that is awesome, because I think we're going down the right way. I think that just was worth mentioning, and now I'm shutting up.
Thanks. Yes, the next one is the suit firmware encryption. This is also in RFC editor queue.
That's in the editor's queue. It's going to sit in misref until the rest of them catch up to it.
I see.
So there's nothing to do with it now.
Nothing to do with it. Also the mud is the same situation. Yes. I think that's it. All going through all the draft. So priority seems to be MTI report, trust domain, and then the priority is update management.
Trust domain first, MTI next, and then report. And then update. Once these things actually all make the editor's queue, you are going to have a lot of work to do, because the editor will write you a bajillion messages, which you have to answer relatively quickly.
Okay. So it's important. So can we have in the notes that the priority is the trust domain first, and then MTI and report? And then the third level is the suit update management.
Sorry, I'm just gonna barge in here. I totally appreciate that that's the priority, but since there are only 4 comments left on suit report, I think I'll finish those off and publish a new version,
Yeah.
and then move on to
Yes.
trust domains.
That's fine. That's fine. I mean, I can push that into IETF last call when you get finished with it. And you still do have a couple of days in IETF last call on the MTI draft, so you may not be actually done with that yet.
I think that's it today. Anything else? Okay, then thank you very much, and hope to see you many people in Madrid, which is closer for me
Can I,
to travel.
can I stop one thing? So I'm looking at the
Yes.
manifest draft. Under the IANA section, it says the expert has approved the seaboard tag registrations, but note that the data item field should read map. Because IANA didn't receive a positive or negative response from the authors when our last call review identified the data item as an unsigned or negative integer, and the document doesn't explicitly mention the data item field, we need the authors to confirm that they agree that map should be used and when possible included in the IANA consideration section. Now, is that old? So I don't know when that comment was made.
Oh, good.
Where did you see that one? Can you include a link into the chat?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's right on the document. So if you open up the draft, if you scroll down past the editor's cue, all the rest of that, you get to the IANA section. It's right there. I can go back to IANA again after the last message that Brendan posted and ask if there's any other issues and see what they say.
Oh, I see. The expert has
If you
approved.
want to.
Okay.
If you've already answered that and they're a little slower at updating, that's fine too.
I could check what I responded because I responded with a comment. But
That's not necessary. I can tell you what the text of manifest version 34 says.
okay.
So the text of manifest version 34 says tag 107 data item map semantic suit envelope as described in, and then tag 1070 data item map semantic suit manifest as defined in. That
So it's an old
sounds like
comment.
it's right to me. Yeah.
So it's an old comment, right? So we'll go back to IANA and say, hey, can you update this because it looks like it's been handled. So IANA does check things periodically, but sometimes like this, if it's hanging around for a long time, they don't get back to it. So sometimes we have to nudge them a little bit.
Okay.
So I'll reply to the last IANA message that Brendan just sent and ask them to confirm that we're squared away.
Thank you.
I have a question to Ken. Ken, are you sort of available?
Yep.
Okay. Did we had an email exchange on that? Did you double check the examples with your implementation just to make sure that they are solid?
Yes, I did. And yeah, I'm still wondering that do we need to update the algorithm identifier in the authentication wrapper? So if we do it, we have to recreate all of manifest examples. So MTI document has changed. Once it uses ES 256, but now it uses ESP 256. Yeah. Also, of course, it's in appendix. So I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think that we should be prepared to be asked
Yes.
for new examples. I think
Okay,
that it
yeah.
would be good to have those ready. I strongly suspect that you are correct that this is going to be raised. And we're going to need to change the examples, which means we're going to need to change the tooling as well.
Okay, so I could very update the manifest spec. So the suit manifest document. So Brandon, could you please double check the how can I say that the signature is correct?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do to verify those.
Okay, thank you. So it's in the pull request. I can copy the link to this
No,
chat.
that's all right. I'll be able to find it if it's in the pull request.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Are we talking only about the in the examples? Can
Yeah, on the
so
examples,
updating
not the
updating
body. Yep.
yes, updating the binary in the examples. Okay, then that should be fine.
That's a good catch, Ken. Thanks for double checking. I was wondering whether we need to then update the examples in the firmware encryption draft as well.
Yeah, probably we need to do the same.
Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah.
Yes, and honestly, many of those IANA registry number updated, and also the considerations for the ED 255 25519 and the ESP 256 was updated on MPI, and which is also required to update in T protocol, which is used their CDDL, but right now, finishing the suit draft is a more higher priority. Okay, I think that's it. Anything else? Yeah. Still, we have 15 participants. So thank you very much, everybody working on the suit draft, and we set the priority clearly today. So yes, so we see and hope to see you many people in Madrid and also on the online participant and for the IETF 123. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Akira.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Michael
everyone.
had a good question whether we need another interim meeting before Madrid, but I think time-wise that won't work out because there needs to be an announcement, I think 2 weeks ahead of time and all sorts of other things, right?
No, the deadline for interims would be the 3rd of July, and you don't have time to schedule it.
Yeah, so we can't do that.
But I think interims in general for this particular working group are a good idea. So you should do it after Madrid.
That's true. Yeah, thanks to the chairs for organizing, and thanks Deb for pushing us to carry this along.
No problem, but I don't like getting out my mean mom look, so.
But it worked. Yeah, Michael suggested to already now think about the virtual intro meeting in August. That's probably, or yeah, around that time frame. That's probably a good idea. Give enough lead time, specifically since we then enter the holiday period.
Exactly. Although I think we lost Akira, and Jackie's sick, so that's why.
Okay.
There you
So
go.
we-
Look at that. Go, Jackie. Go.
We'll have to bring this up on the mailing list, so we'll do that.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks. And also note to make it the first week of August, please.
That's too soon after the meeting anyway, so.
Yeah, that's the same.
Perfect. I love to hear that.
You're lucky.
Okay, I'm happy. Bye.